There's a story playing out in offices all over the world right now, maybe even in yours, and it's about something that most leaders see as a problem. But what if it's not a problem at all? What if it's actually a signal?
So let's meet Anna. She's in marketing, and every single week she has to create these big campaign reports. Now, the official way to do this, the approved process, takes 3 full days. But Anna's found a better way. She uses a public AI tool, one that IT definitely has not approved, and she gets a beautiful, finished report in just 15 minutes. And right there, that's the core of the issue, this huge, massive gap between the official way and what's suddenly possible.
Anna's choice here, well, it creates this tension that is just splitting leadership teams apart everywhere. Is she an innovator, pushing the company forward, or is she a security risk? To figure that out, we really need to understand why this kind of unofficial workflow is popping up everywhere.
What Anna is doing, it has a name, Shadow AI. It's basically any time employees use AI tools to get their work done without any official approval or oversight from the company. And believe me, it is happening everywhere, for everything from summarizing meeting notes to drafting computer code.
So the big question is, why? And the sources are really clear about this. The main reason isn't some desire to break the rules, it's a German word that just nails it, Lieferdruck. It literally means delivery pressure, that constant, immense need to just get the job done. Anna isn't trying to be a rebel. She is just trying to do her job in a system where the expectations are way out ahead of the official tools she's been given.
Okay, but this is usually where the whole story takes a wrong turn. Let's look at how leadership tends to see what Anna's doing and why that point of view might actually be dangerously incomplete.
And here we have it, the 2 totally different ways to look at Anna's actions. On the left, you've got the common reaction from leadership in IT. They see a loss of control, a security risk, a lack of discipline, maybe even disloyalty. And look, those are valid concerns. But on the right, we have a completely different lens. What if it's a signal, a prototype for a better way, an early warning system? What if it's just a direct result of that delivery pressure we were just talking about?
You see, when you only focus on that left column, the response is always the same. You create more rules, you ban the tools, you try to clamp down and regain control. But that completely misses the real story. By trying to solve what you think is a discipline problem, you actually end up shutting down your organization's own built-in early warning system.
So let's shift gears. Let's move to a much more powerful way of seeing this whole phenomenon and see how that builds a totally different and, frankly, much more useful understanding of what's really going on.
If you only take one single thing away from this explainer, please let it be this. Shadow AI is not a rule break, it is a signal. This one idea completely changes the conversation. It moves it away from control and punishment and toward curiosity and real improvement.
To really get this, let's use a pretty powerful metaphor. I want you to picture a brand new park. It's been beautifully designed. It has all these official paved walkways that connect all the main spots. But after a few weeks, you start to notice something. There's a muddy trail starting to form across one of the lawns. It's a shortcut, right? It's the most efficient route between 2 points that the original architects just missed. Landscape designers have a great name for this. They call it a desire path. It's not vandalism, it's user feedback, pure and simple.
And this just perfectly illustrates the choice every leader has with Shadow AI. Do you build a fence? Do you put up a keep off the grass sign and punish people for taking the most efficient route? Or do you look at that desire path as free, valuable data, and you pave it, making it an official, supported route for everyone? Anna's use of AI, that is a desire path inside your organization.
So if Shadow AI is a desire path, then what is it telling us about the park's design? What's it telling us about our own organization's architecture? What is this signal actually pointing to? Well, these desire paths, they reveal very specific cracks in your company's foundation. They point to informal services, work that has to get done but was never officially designed into a process. They highlight missing mandates, where nobody's really sure who owns a task, so AI just fills in the blank. They expose what we call handover losses, those clumsy, inefficient gaps between different teams. And maybe most important of all, they show you exactly where you've given employees responsibility for an outcome, but not the authority or the tools to actually get it done efficiently. That is Anna's situation, right there. And this brings us to a really fundamental idea. The problem is not the tool. It never was. The problem is the architecture. Blaming an AI tool for a data leak is exactly like blaming the mud for the desire path instead of asking why the official walkway is in the wrong place.
And here is why this is so important to understand right now. AI is an amplifier. It doesn't magically fix your broken processes, it just takes whatever you already have and makes it more. If your organization has clarity and clean processes, AI will make you incredibly efficient. But if you have chaos and ambiguity and broken handovers, well, AI is just going to amplify that chaos. It'll make the mess faster and way more out of control.
So the huge takeaway here for anyone in a leadership role is this. Your real job is not to control the tool. Your job is to look at the desire paths your people are creating and use them as a map to understand and fix your underlying organizational structure. You have to fix the structure first, not the tool.
This entire shift in perspective gets us away from all those panicked questions about bans and rules, and it brings us to one single, much more powerful, much more fundamental question.
So we have to stop asking, how do we stop people from using these things? Or how do we control this? These are absolutely the wrong questions, because they're focused on the symptom, not the cause. Instead, we ask this: what work is actually happening here, for which someone bears responsibility, but without that work being officially and cleanly clarified with the necessary mandates and tools? Now, this question isn't a starting point for some quick fix or a new policy. It's a starting point for orientation. It's a diagnostic tool that uses shadow AI not as a threat you need to manage, but as a signal you need to understand. A signal that shows you exactly where your organization needs to evolve next.